Okay, so now what we're looking at is a stomp rocket, and a stomp rocket's one of my kids' favorite toys. So you have basically this thing that you step on that is connected to a small tube, and this tube is hooked up to the rocket. And that rocket gets launched up in the air. So basically what you have is you have a set volume, and you change the volume by exerting a force. Usually it's by stepping on it, and when you step on it, it changes the volume of this particular passageway. Well, when you change the volume, you're going to change the pressure associated with that because of Boyle's law. And so because of Boyle's law, you can say pressure 1, volume 1 equals pressure 2, volume 2. Now the pressure that we're originally going to have is just going to be at atmospheric pressure. So you have, and it actually tells you this in the problem, you have 1 atmosphere is pressure 1. Okay? It also tells you that the initial volume is 0.5 meters cubed. And it tells you that when you step on this, you compress this value to a smaller volume of 0.05 meters cubed. And what it wants you to find is it wants you to find the pressure that's exerted on the rocket. So we plug in our values. We say, okay, I have 1 atmosphere, I have 0.5, I have the pressure 2, which is what I'm trying to solve for, 0.05 meters cubed. Okay, in order to solve this, remember I'm trying to isolate this value right here, so I divide both sides by 0.05, and when I do that, I get a pressure of 10 atmospheres, which is a much, much more significant pressure. Now the reason why the rocket's actually going to take off then is if you follow this, there's a much smaller tube right here. Okay, the surface area here is very, very, very small. Well, when you have a pressure, a large pressure like we have here, and that's equal to force divided by area, if you have a small area, then that means that this force that's exerted on the rocket is going to be very, very large. So it turns out that the more you compress this thing, it has to be done quickly, but as you compress this thing to a very, very small value, you're going to launch the rocket even further in the air because you're going to have a greater force.